What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. Still haven't gotten used to this angle. Loving the new taillights. It looks so, car just looks so classy, honestly. I don't know, it pops. And then obviously matching the front, loving that. But anyways, today we're gonna get into something I've been meaning to do for a while. I'm actually going to be taking this lip off and we're gonna have it rewrapped. I didn't plan on making a video on this. However, I get a lot of questions on this, so I might as well just cover it so you guys are fully aware of the type of vinyl, what type of lip, so on and so forth. So as you can tell right now, it is carbon wrapped. However, it's not a very good wrap, and it wasn't done in the best way. So I took this to a shop. It was actually a tint shop here locally, and they did it, and they weren't pleased with the job, so they actually ended up giving it to me for free. But it's just not very good quality. I don't know if you guys can catch that right there, but that's there. While the car was at paint, this happened. Not sure how, but that happened, and that's the biggest blemish that it has, honestly. So anyways, I'm gonna be taking the bumper off and showing you guys the inside of the lip. I'll discuss the brand and all that stuff, and yeah, let's get to it. All right, guys, got it off the car. One thing I wanted to point out before I actually pulled it off the bumper itself is you'll notice the fitment isn't the best on this lip, but a lot of it has to do with, I guess when you make 700 wheel, damn near freaking doing 140 miles an hour down the quarter mile, this lip is not happy staying. Neither is this bumper, which is why I'm getting some stress cracks over here. But anyways, what we're gonna do to try to fix this is we're gonna use essentially a gasket maker. Rodney loves this stuff. He puts it literally on everything. I have one of my gauges that he puts some of that stuff on, and basically it's essentially a gasket maker. So it's like a type of rubber glue. You heat it up and you put it on there. So I think it'll be a great fit for this. So we're gonna go ahead and put that on, and hopefully it stays on there after the lip gets rewrapped. And then one additional thing that I'm going to do is notice the AC fan over here is looking real rough. So I'm gonna pull that off, and I'm so happy with how the cowl and all this stuff came out that I'm gonna respray with the same stuff, and hopefully it comes out the same, so you guys will get to see that. And then I'm gonna go ahead and respray this again. I just resprayed that last year, but I'm gonna respray that. I might actually respray this as well, the little latch for the hood prop. And then while I'm already in here, I'm gonna touch up a few things and maybe respray I don't know, I'll clean it up somehow. But let's get this off the bumper. All right, guys, got the lip off. So first and foremost, this is a deck mechanical replica lip. So funny enough, back in the day, the deck lips used to actually sit in stock and nobody wanted them. And now that they're discontinued, they've been discontinued for over a decade, everybody wants them. But this is what it looks like. It's a pretty aggressive lip. In my opinion, it's the best looking lip. I think back in the day, people didn't like it just because things weren't as aggressive as they are nowadays. But it just complements the car very well. Essentially, almost like a Dulux style lip for the Evo 8, kind of like how it covers the whole entire bumper. I got this from Speed Element. The company that replicates them is called S2. Speed Element doesn't typically have these in stock, but they actually got on a waiting list. And if you hit them up, they might have one coming soon, I'm not sure. But I got this a couple years ago and I love it. So hit up Speed Element if you're interested in it. Like I said, you may have to be on a waiting list, but relatively cheap. I think I paid $200 shipped. It's not obviously not real carbon. It's this plastic, the Duraflex or whatever it's called. But yeah, I think it's a great lip overall. The fitment's not the best, and I'm getting it wrapped in carbon just because I have all these carbon accents. And unfortunately, I'm not able to get a real deck mechanical lip. But I got all these carbon little pieces. Even the trunk is carbon, but you can't see that. So yeah, guys, let's take this over to the wrap shop, and it's about an hour drive. Man, this Evo looks so like menacing with no bumper. I've always liked the way the Evos look with no bumper. Shit looks crazy. But yeah, guys, let's get to it. What is going on, guys? Finally get to do something I've been meaning to do for a very long time, and this has been an eyesore for me for a long time. Because this is the AC fan, and it sits right up front. So no matter how clean your car is and all that stuff, this is just sitting there, just, you know, protruding through just like a black eye, honestly. And it didn't help that from that bad painting experience I had, these guys, look what they did. So that made it even worse. But I'm just glad to finally be able to do this. I'm gonna be using the trim paint that I use for the cowl. So basically, to take this apart, I will apologize up front. I don't typically like filming things that I haven't done before just because they take too much time and it's just unnecessary pressure. So usually I like to accomplish it first, and then I let you know how it went and how to do it. So this is pretty easy, so I'll show you how. All right, so this fan sits in front of the radiator right over here. So obviously you're gonna need to take off the intercooler. That's self-explanatory, pretty simple. And then there's a couple screws. You got two up here, and then you have one down there, and then there's a little like plug that goes in there. Once you get that out, you pop it out, and that's basically it. So to take it apart, I'll bring you back inside and show you how. All right, so once you have it out, prior to that, you're gonna need to undo these two plugs. Obviously, that's self-explanatory. But once you have it out, it should look something like this. Obviously, I don't have the screws on there, but it's pretty simple. You're gonna need to unplug this from the top. It may be a little bit difficult depending on how old your car is. And then you're gonna need to unplug these two little plugs right here. So for these, I ended up using a very small screwdriver, but you're gonna need to, you guys see this little clip right over here? Focus, that little clip right there. You're gonna need to slide something in there because it's hooked up like this. So I took a little screwdriver like this, and I just kind of pressed it in there and then slid it upwards. And it should pop right out once you get that off. Pretty simple. Then you have one screw on the back end of the fan. That's what holds the fan in. It's a small little 8mm, pretty simple to get off. And then once you do that, it'll give you access to these screws right here on the inside of this. And once you do that, it basically just pops off like this. And this is the motor. And the fan should already be out, and simple as that. I went ahead also and I used a heat gun, and I took off the decal that's right over here. I have it right over here. I'm still debating if I'm gonna use it or not. We'll go ahead and see afterwards. Right now, I'm gonna go ahead and tape up these little plugs. I'm gonna use some painter's tape to kind of tape that up, because I don't really want paint going on that. And other than that, we'll get to spraying, guys. Stay tuned. All right, guys, one final look at the fan. I had to remove the white paint that was up top here with some acetone. It doesn't bond well with this trim bumper paint, but here it is. And we're about to install this on the car. So one final look. Yo, what up, guys? So I got some bad news. Unfortunately, the lip, the vinyl that they used started bubbling up and separating from the lip. So I did end up picking it up, obviously. It was redone. Well, it was done one time. And now I'm gonna have to drive again, unfortunately, another hour plus to go get it redone. The guy ran out of vinyl, so this is 3M vinyl, and he's waiting on some more to show up so we can redo it. I'm probably gonna have to do the same thing and kind of have him kind of split it, because I think it's the mixture of this type of material. It's that Duraflex polyurethane stuff. I don't know how to say it correctly, but it's that plastic that basically bends, and I think that mixed with the finish on this, which is a very non-sticky finish, plus it bending around and stuff, plus this curve right here, it's just a bad combination. So unfortunately, I'm probably gonna have to have them split it. All right, guys, we are back, and hopefully this will be the last time I have to make that trip. But I got the lip. I'll go ahead and show you once it's all installed and everything, the quality. They did have to split it, so keep that in mind. If you are interested, or you get yourself one of these lips and you end up wrapping it like I did, that it's gonna have to be split no matter what you do. And this isn't cheap. This isn't cheap vinyl. This is 3M. And just unfortunately, just because of the way the lip is and everything going on, it needs to be split in order so it doesn't split. So it needs to be cut into 2 pieces. And we're getting ready to install it. It's been off the car for a couple weeks now, and I'm ready to drive the Evo. So we got the mesh and all that stuff back on. All right, guys, here we are. Final product is right here, and looks good. It's not perfect. This lip from the beginning is not the best fitting. I probably give it maybe a 7 or 8 out of 10, 7.5, just to split it even. But it's all finished, and I do kind of regret using that butyl stuff, mainly because some of it oozed out of the crevice, and it ended up coming out, and I tried to remove it with some alcohol, and it actually peeled the vinyl off, which I didn't know alcohol would do that. So I had to hit it up with a little bit of touch-up paint, which you probably can't tell. But overall, it looks good. I do know for a fact the fitment won't get any worse than this, because that butyl stuff works pretty well. But just be careful. Honestly, I'd recommend using 2 people if you are gonna do the butyl. But the most important thing, well, obviously the lip is good, but one of the biggest game changers is the fan over here. And I went ahead and hit up the little release for the hood, and overall just everything looks so clean. I am gonna swap this out with a titanium bolt, and then I'm gonna touch up some things. I got plenty of stuff for the engine bay, so stay tuned for that.